So, in this talk, we're going to be talking about some of the basics of algebra, starting with the two different types of terms we're going to work with. There's constant terms, which are just numbers. Things like -3, 0, and 4. Those are all examples of constant terms. The other kind of term is a variable term, like -1/2 x, 2x squared. Anything that has a letter in it, whether it's squared to the first power, if there's a letter in the term, it's known as a variable term. And if it's a number, that's a constant term. We should also be able to identify what are known as like terms. And the way we can do that, if a term or if multiple terms have the same variable or the same combination of variables, that makes these things like terms, and that means we can add them or subtract them. Now, you can only add or subtract terms if they are like terms. And that again means they've got the same variable or combination of variables. -2x, 5x, 1/3 x. Those are all like terms. Doesn't matter if some are negative, or positive, or a fraction. As long as the terms have the exact same letter or combination of letters, that makes them like terms, and you can add or subtract those terms. Now, when you do that, when you add or subtract like terms, the only thing that changes is the coefficient, which is the number in front of the variable. So if I had 2x plus 8x, that adds to 10x. When you add or subtract like terms, the only thing that changes is the coefficient. Try this one with me. X squared plus 2x squared. Well, it's understood there's a 1 there. It's not written, but that is 1x squared plus 2x squared gives us 3x squared. Again, when you add or subtract like terms, the only thing that changes is the coefficient. So it doesn't matter even if they get a bit more complicated. X squared y plus 8x squared y plus 3x squared y. These are like terms. They've all got x squared y. That is 1x squared y plus 8 is 9 plus 3 more gives us 12x squared y. Now, it's when you multiply variables, that's when the power starts to change. Okay? So if you're multiplying variables, that's when the index changes. And that 3 is known as an index or an exponent or a power. All three words mean the same thing. You should be comfortable working with any of those words. So if I have x times x times x, that's x to the power 3. And I would encourage you to write these in your notes, even pause the video so you can write them down before I go over them. This is going to be good practice for us. So x times x times x, that's x to the power 3. But if I'm adding x plus x plus x, and you're adding only the coefficient changes, so those are 3x. Now let's go ahead and do a few more together for practice. Okay, 3x plus x. Well, one thing we know is that 3x means 3 times x. So there's my 3x plus x, which is 3 times x, or simply 3x plus x. They are like terms, and there's a 1 there. It's not written, but when we say plus x, it means plus 1x, so that is 4x. 3x times x. 3 times x will be 3x to the power 2, or 3x squared. 3x plus 3x. It's very important to notice whether we've got multiplication or addition. 3x plus 3x, we've now got 6x. And the last one, 3x times 3x, well, we know that this really means 3x is 3 times x times another 3 times x. We know that the order in which you multiply numbers doesn't change the answer. 3 times 3, 9, x times x, x squared. Here's a little introduction to our algebra, identifying like terms, combining them and simplifying. Thanks for watching.